All right, y'all. We are live on all platforms. Peace, peace. Make sure you comment eight. All right. Make sure you comment eight if you can hear me loud and clear. All right. We live on YouTube. We live on Facebook. All right. We are live on TikTok as well. All right. A couple of announcements. All right, first and foremost, I want to get to what exactly is going on in society. Y'all, go ahead and comment eight if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, I'm gonna give out some tickets tonight as well for my class that I got this weekend. All right, I have a class this weekend going over how to show you exactly how to acquire a brand new vehicle using your equitable, beneficial ownership rights. Okay, all right. But before we get to that, all right, how many of y'all are seeing what's going on with ICE and what exactly is going on with immigration? All right. And without, starting a big war in the comments, all right, some of y'all comment, how do y'all feel about what's going on? All right. Do you agree with ICE? All right. Do you not agree with ICE? Do you feel it's a situation where, they should just let people be? All right. Or do you feel like a situation where, yeah, we need to kind of tighten down on homeland security? All right. I'm gonna tell y'all my thoughts. All right, but I want to kind of see what some of y'all feel about what exactly is going on without regurgitating what you done heard. All right. I really want to hear your honest, critical thinking. All right. I want to hear your honest thoughts. How do you feel about what's going on with ICE and immigration? Some people say I agree with ICE. Okay, okay. Say ICE is ripping families apart. Some of these families have been here for generations. Okay. No feelings towards it. Okay, okay. We need ICE, period. All right. So again, most people, um, they gonna take a moral approach to it. Now I agree with you. All right. Sitting on people's family early in the morning, swiping kids and things like that. That's something I don't agree with. All right. But I'm not going to sit here and say I don't respect them for doing what they're doing. All right. All right. Y'all got to understand how many people sneak in the United States. All right. Again, before I even go further, all right, I have a lot of friends that are immigrants. I have a lot of illegal friends. All right, and y'all don't think I was letting them know exactly what was going on, why this was going down. All right, I have literally lost a lot of friends, like meaning friends from Mexico, friends from, the friends from Haiti, friends from Somalia. All right, I've lost a lot of friends. All right, and I didn't want to. All right, but I was always asking them, like, okay, cool. I've been knowing you for a while. I've been knowing you over 10, 15 years. All right. And yeah, you was illegal then. All right. We're older now. Why are you still illegal? That's my first thought. Again, that's that situation, that personal situation. Because I would see him go on Facebook and complain like, it's crazy how they doing me. It's crazy. And I remember commenting and saying, hey, bro, look, man, I've been knowing you since we was like 19, okay? Like, you've had ample amount of time to fill out whatever it is, documentation. Now, if it was the money, it's understandable. Meaning, if you had to pay something you couldn't pay for, cool. All right, but don't sit and act like, all right, one thing I ain't gonna tolerate, all right, is people that acting like there's not a solution. All right. Like there wouldn't be any type of ICE if there was folks that would come forward and just register. I can't go to Mexico and just be illegal. What? Okay, I can't just go to another country and just slide in and create a business person and start creating a whole business, take all that income and take it back to my homeland. And not saying everybody's doing it. I'm not saying everybody's doing it. All right. But for the people that aren't doing that, y'all acting like that's not happening. All right. That's what I'm saying. So I would talk to my friends and I'll ask them like, how do you feel about what's going on? Trump is an idiot. It's wrong what he's doing. I'm like, hey, yo, these people that they're grabbing up. Do you understand these people? Some of these people are criminals. And we ain't talking about just selling weed and stuff like that. I've sold weed. All right. We're talking about real live child rapists. Do y'all not understand that? I don't think folks understand that. So why are you looking at it from a moral standpoint? Like, it's not fair. All right. Yo, why do you think they're in that neighborhood? They're in that neighborhood to serve a warrant. Y'all acting like y'all never been on the other side of a criminal investigation. If you got a warrant, it's because you did something. All right? Again, we can get all into all crimes are commercial all day. We understand it. Okay? All right? But the reason why it's a warrant, because everybody was given a deadline to come forth and register yourself. Now, if you was too busy working, building for your family, not even understanding how to register yourself, how can you blame Homeland Security? How? Do y'all not remember how? Can I say the word now? I don't know if I can say the word now. So we can say, y'all don't know how Ovid came in? All right? We got to shut down the border. See, a lot of y'all that look like me just say things like, well, Trump, because he's a white man, okay? Let's call a spade a spade. You don't like Trump because he's a white man, okay? Let's go ahead and clear the table, take a sip of our drinks. All right? The reason why you don't like Trump is because he's a white man. Or should I say, like I say back in the day, a white man, okay? That's why, all right? I get it, okay? I understand, okay? But at the end of the day, we have to use logic, people. You can't just keep going on, he's a white man, Or what if the white man was here to assist the full journey? See, y'all not even seeing what's going on. All right? Again, my heart goes out to all illegals, all right, that are doing the right thing. All right? You honestly have came into America. This is your new home. You have no thought to go back home. All right, I'm with you on that, but you have to get registered. Everyone here that has a social, all right, we're registered. And again, we want everyone to come, long as you're registered. I don't got a problem with, and I don't think the administration has a problem with anyone coming here, long as you're registered. That's it. And so before you get into everybody's here on stolen land. All right, come on, y'all. Let's stop. Come on. All right, let's put the pause on regurgitating phrases that don't have any kind of context to it. All right? Because if that's the case, if we just going to say, well, this is stolen land, everybody's here. Well, we might as well just open up the borders to every damn body. All right? All type of diseases. You're going to see COVID again. You're going to see Ebola again. You're going to see... And as a person with color on my skin or with pigmentation on my skin, man, I'm seeing Trump as one of the good guys. However you feel about politics, all right, I don't give a damn. I know a lot of y'all don't even really follow what's going on. All right, I really didn't start following politics heavy. All right, I'm going to be honest. I didn't start following politics heavy, all right, until I seen Trump talking about Hillary Clinton's laptops. Let me take a sip. Y'all, because some of y'all don't really know me personally, all right, before I knew any of this contract law, trust law, consumer law, any of that. You know what I was deep in? Quote unquote conspiracy theories, okay? All right? And one thing I was following real close, like a fine tooth and comb, was the international child pedophilia ring that is literally getting ran. All right? And there's only one guy, and he's so happenly to be white. Some people call him orange. All right? It was only one guy, okay, that went on national TV and acknowledged, like, hey, there's a goddamn child trafficking ring going on. He was the first orange motherfucker to say some shit. All right? This is me before the contract law, before I could understand I could endorse a bill, y'all, before any of that. All right? All right? Somebody asked, what am I drinking? This is some high-level apple juice. Okay? All right? Now, back to it. All right? For y'all that don't know what Trump is doing, this man, he tried to do his first term. All right? When they tried to bring up the laptop, I know some of y'all like, what laptop? What is he talking about? When is he going to talk about the class this weekend? When is he going to talk about my bills? When is he going to talk about trust? Okay, listen. You don't even understand the front row seats that you have right now. All right, there is so much information that is coming out, and I see exactly why they release AI at this time, because you really don't know what's real and what ain't real. Let's be real. You really don't know what's real and what ain't real. Comment 8 if sometimes you see a video, it's like, is this AI? You know, some of y'all that's a little older, you know, y'all easily get tricked. You know, you show your grandma, look, Ma, look at this whale talking to this man at the bank. She's like, damn, when whale started talking? All right, yes, you know, some of these videos are really good. All right, where you really don't know what's going on. So now that's the best time to start. All right? Somebody said you don't either. I know I don't. I know. I'm with you. I'm standing beside y'all. All right? I'm just talking to you. All right? Yeah. Okay? Yes. All right? We don't know what's real. Let's say they show us an alien on national news. You know the first thing somebody gonna say, AI! AI! This is not real. This can't be real. You see what I'm saying? The best time to start releasing things. I've been told folks, I remember telling my dad, hey, Dad, that's not Biden. Biden been died. Biden is dead. Okay? This new guy is an actor. Okay? So all these files that's coming out, and I don't mean to try to startle y'all and make y'all scared. I want y'all to know you're okay. Okay? We're going to survive. Like we've always survived. All right, but I am here to let you know, grab your popcorn. All right, because if you've been following since day one, oh my gosh, like we got courtside seats, ain't it? We saying one side against the other. A lot of people think I'm pro-Republican. I don't give a damn about either side. I just know Trump is the guy. All right, Trump is the guy. Okay, when he said that there is an international child pedophilia ring, in comes Hillary Clinton. Y'all remember she said she keeps hot sauce in her purse? Y'all know what little chicken means? Okay? You know, we got to keep it humorous. All right? Y'all know what little chicken mean? All right? I ain't never met a white woman that kept hot sauce in her purse anyway. All right, and Hillary Clinton don't look like the type that like black guys. All right, she don't look like the type that be dangling around the hood. Nothing like that. Okay, so why is she having hot sauce in her purse? It's cold talk. It's cold talk. And what channel did she do it on? The Breakfast Club. All right, the damn Breakfast Club. The same Breakfast Club where Charlemagne is on, where he said, he telling the world, hey, y'all, this is an authoritative regime, and we need to resist on all levels. I was riding, listening to the radio, like, what the hell is Charlemagne talking about? I ain't never heard this before. We need to resist on all levels. Charlemagne trying to get somebody beat to sleep. You hear this? Now I cut on in the news and I'm seeing a bunch of folks that look like me out there protesting. Like, what are you doing? We trying to clean up America, and you laying down in the street trying to stop trucks to go. Okay? You don't even know what's going on, man. Get your black ass out the way. All right? All right? Look, we getting banned from TikTok. All right? I gotta clean it up a little bit. All right? Man, get out the way. Okay? All right? I'm not with nobody that's trying to fight against being legal, because y'all have had ample amount of time. And again, I have resources as well where we're helping, immigrant families register themselves, all right? Because I do understand that a lot of them, they think that, the process takes about 3 years. It does not take that long. All right? It's no different than somebody going to court, all right, filing a lawsuit, all right? And then let's say they schedule the first hearing 1.5 years out. You don't have to wait that long. You can send in the expedition a document. You can send in a motion. All right, you can let them know, hey, I need this immediately. This is an emergency filing. And then, they say, well, I heard it's thousands of dollars. But if you ask a lot of these folks that are illegal, do you even know what it takes to get legal? And they'll tell you, no, I just been trying to, listen, like, come on, man. Like, we can't be rocking like that. All right? We can't rock like that. I ain't with you on that now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with you on that now. I ain't with you trying to, you ain't even trying. You don't even know how much it is. I'm asking, well, how much the fee is? Well, I'm not sure, but I heard it's thousands of dollars. Like, come on, man. You ain't even looked in. You just been running. And a lot of folks just on here typing, like saying, it's wrong what they're doing to these families. Nah, forget all that. Why? Let's talk to the families. Let's talk to the man in the house. Let's talk to the woman. Why haven't you registered? Where you at? Y'all so busy out there protesting. Why you ain't went to the family and said, okay, cool, let's try to get you registered. What all you need? And you'll see. They'll tell you. No, I don't need help because I don't want to mess up how I got. Exactly, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of, legal Americans falling behind this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all falling behind. Like, this is wrong what they're doing to my friend. She's been here for over 20 years. She has not hurt anyone. Okay, so what? Tell her to go down to the damn office and get registered. What are we talking about? Comment 7 if you feel like I am dead wrong. Comment 7 if you feel like I'm dead wrong. This is one of these social topics that I wanted to kind of hit on, because I see a lot of people, y'all, you arguing in comments, all right? You're not really understanding what Americans, United States, quote unquote, citizens, all right, they're defending their country. If you go to any other country, you can't go to no other country and do this. We can't go to no other country. I can't go to Russia and just, let me create a name, goddamn, let me go get a job, take over the whole goddamn staffing unit, put my cousins, my uncle, my brother, we done took over this mother. What? You can't do that nowhere else. All right? Get registered. I see some people that comment 7. You're probably looking at this from a moral standpoint, and that's why you're not a boss, okay? That's why you don't run anything. We can't look at this United States of America in a moral, emotional standpoint. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to business. You see what I'm saying? We got to get back to, really checking. All right, are you registered? All right? And then they said, well, man, so you on the side of ICE. What you gonna do when they start checking everybody's IDs and say, well, that's why it comes in. I've been teaching people how to claim their estates. Bing, 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 bong. I already told y'all what you gonna do when they start knocking on your goddamn door and saying, hey, Steve Johnson, have you claimed your estates? Are you alive? You ain't even gonna know what they mean by that. You be like, what you mean I'm alive? I work. I'm a taxpayer. You gonna be saying all that mumbo gumbo dead. You know all them phrases. I'm a taxpayer. I work. I'm a law. But hey, shut up. Did you claim your estate, sir? Yay or nay? Okay, I've been told y'all that. I told you if I was a president, I would have been pushed that button. Okay, you know how many uninformed people it is opening their damn mouths giving advice? You know how many of y'all done gave advice today? Oh, you just need to go ahead down there and get a job. You know, go ahead and get you a job down there at the state. You know what I'm saying? My job hiring, you know, I get you on. You know, they pay good. They pay be about 60,000 a year. You can get you about 60,000 a year. Right, move out the way, okay? I'm glad everything that's happening. Trump pushed the button. Okay, we need to start a hashtag. Send it up to Trump. Trump push the button. Okay? Again, I have resources for those folks that are immigrants and you just don't know the process, because that's understandable. All right? Meaning you just don't know the process. You just need somebody to show you the documentations, all right, what to fill out, who to send it to, because that's what it is. Okay? It's about 7 documents. Of course, they might ask you some additional information down the line, but it's really that easy. All right? Once I really found out how easy it is, I'm like, oh my God, you mean to tell me these people been here for 30 years? 40 years? Trying to use the same excuse? Well, I don't want them to lock up my grandma. Your grandma been here for 50 years. What do you mean? And then Trump even did something only a gentleman would do. He literally gave a deadline, meaning if you are illegal, we're going to give you a chance to come forward and get registered so you don't have to go. But if we come find you, it's like my mama used to say, man, if I got to come find you now, okay, you on your own. You on your own. Y'all wasn't paying attention. All y'all that's protesting, why wouldn't you encouraging your friends? Like, hey, you got a deadline. Let's get this paperwork done. You know why? Because a lot of them don't care. I'm being real with you. You see what I'm saying? Like all that. You know, I done lost friends behind this, y'all. All right? I done lost friends, but I done gave them resources. Hey, man, do this. No, I'm kind of scared, man. What if they... I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm like, you hearing what Trump is saying, like, but their hate towards Trump is so, no, what if he tricks us? What if he... I'm like, all right, well, you on your own then, man. You on your own. Ice, baby. I didn't agree with that video at first, but I seen that white lady singing that song right now. Ice, baby. I'm like, oh, snap. I thought that was so wrong. But now after talking to my friends, I'm like, hey. Come on now. My door is always open. Again, all right, my door is always open. We've been, I don't know if y'all remember when I kind of put that service out there earlier, all right, but I did not have the manpower, all right, to kind of deal with the amount of families that really started tapping in with me, you know, but it did show me that, you know, there are families that's trying to, you know, get legalized. You know, they don't want to, you know, be always looking over their shoulder. You know, I wouldn't either. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not a criminal, as long as you don't have a record, y'all got to remember, some of these illegals have records. Whether y'all want to believe that or not, some of them have records. A lot of them don't. All right? But some of them do, y'all. Some very serious records. Imagine you, like, literally creating havoc in a different country, then you come over here. You think that's just going to get out of your characteristics? No, you going to come over here and do it. All right? You come over here and do it. And again, what I'm about to say next, again, I love my Somalian people, okay? I met a beautiful woman, Somalian woman, and when I used to live in Seattle. Oh, my God, I didn't even know Somalians look like that. Okay, oh, my God, she was beautiful. All right, when I went to Minnesota, I started seeing so many Somalians. I was like, man, what in the world? I went up there for a job. I was like, what in the world? I'm seeing them everywhere. Taxi drivers, at the gas station. I'm seeing them at the LA Fitness. They hooping. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, where am I? I'm from down south. We real opinionated. So when you tell a person down south, like, you about to go to Minnesota, first thing I'm thinking about is a bunch of white people. All right, I went to Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. Y'all, I seen so many Somalians, y'all. You would have thought I was in Somalia. All right, come to find out, Obama signed some type of bill which kind of let a lot of refugees come in, from Somalia. Y'all remember that was happening when Barack was president? I don't know if y'all was paying attention to it. Folks that look like me was saying, yeah, Barack doing something for black folks. Ah. Not knowing a lot of those Somalians, all right, have fraudulent, daycare scam. We talking about millions, y'all. That's what's really going on in Minnesota. All right, it's a lot of immigrants that have literally built empires. Do y'all I'm speaking to the Americans right now. Do y'all understand that? Okay, while you over here trying to figure out your next meal and shit, all right, there is immigrants that have literally built empires. And if you think that's not affecting you at all, then cool. All right, cool. But just remember, everybody is not you. Everybody's not sleep like you. Okay? You got some logical thinkers out here. All right? Because without logic, what would we have? Imagine a world full of emotions. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's like a room full of women. That's like a room full of women. Okay? All right? No offense, okay? But on to other things. I just kind of wanted to say that because I see a lot of people just regurgitating things that's not true. All right, please have some logic behind what's going on. ICE is Homeland Security, family. All right, and if you don't understand that, that's just because Homeland Security has been good lately. All right, but now it's to the point now you see it on your front porch. That's what Homeland Security is. All right, I know a lot of folks don't understand. Like, what? That's wrong. What do you mean it's wrong? You take your ass to another country and go do something, be there illegal, and watch they come run you down. See if the people of the land gonna come out and protest for you. They not. Not at all. They gonna keep quiet. Like, hey, mind your business. Mind your business. You out there, this is wrong. You ain't got a pot to piss in. This is wrong. And that's one thing about Americans, man. It's like, man, we'll literally give up our rights to fight for somebody else's rights. And then when that party end up taking over, it's, they taking over. They're taking over. This is unfair. Like, nah, come on, man. That's why it's easy to trick people. Just get behind their movement. Ladies, the feminist movement, okay, the gays, all right, got with you. We might get banned on TikTok, but TikTok, all right, come on over to Instagram. We got to say this, all right, ladies, all right, let's show you how your movement was hijacked, all right, and again, I got lesbian cousins, I got lesbian best friends, all right, they agree with me on this, all right, lesbians is literally what took over the feminist movement. That's why you hear women saying things like, I don't need a man. Any woman that's saying that, she's a lesbian. I'm saying it right now. We putting it out in the air. Any woman that's saying she don't need a man is a lesbian. She probably got a bunch of things in the closet. Okay? We got to say that. Let's move forward. Meaning, your movement was hijacked. Okay? Black Lives Matter movement was hijacked. Okay, when you look up, it was 3 lesbians running Black Lives Matter. These lesbians done went and got houses for their other lesbian partner. That literally done went and bought some kids from adoption. Now, literally, all right, that's what's going on. Okay, so let's keep going on. I'm showing you how movements are hijacked. Okay, I'm showing you how movements are hijacked. All right, y'all remember the civil rights movement? Out there marching, holding us, give us rights, give us rights, give us rights. We didn't see no immigrants in those civil rights. We didn't see no immigrants in those suits. When how we went back in the day, we button down, slacks. You seen the creases in your slacks, dress shoes on. I didn't see no immigrants. All right, y'all remember, I'm reincarnated now. I ain't see no immigrants back then. Okay. All right. I didn't, and again, I shouldn't have seen them. You feel what I'm saying? Again, I want y'all to really hear what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Everybody has their personal battles when they have them. I don't think it's conducive to hop on somebody's wave just because you feel like something is not fair, because a lot of times you're not knowing what's on the other side. That's almost like being in prison and you hopping in somebody else's business. Yeah, it might look like they treating him bad, but you don't know what he did. You know what I'm saying? You going over there trying to save him and stuff like you trying to say, like, hey, man, get off him, man. Y'all doing him wrong. Y'all doing why y'all doing him like that? Hey, man, he been having sex with little kids, man. He ain't read his paperwork. Not saying that's what they were doing. I'm just giving you an example. You can't just be quick to jump on somebody's movement, because you really don't understand the paperwork that is behind everything. It's always paperwork. All right, you know how many tribes have lost land due to paperwork? All right, folks, paperwork ain't right. All right, and if you illegal, you gonna keep getting harassed. All right, ain't nothing about to change, about to get worse. So get legalized. Like all that marching, all that. What y'all think they about to do? Y'all think they don't got enough manpower to basically hold folks? And and this is why I hear all the time. I hear, well, they can't stop all of us. Look, as someone that has led a march, okay, and I'm glad the police stopped me, because I was about to lead women and children on the highway, okay? I'm looking back at it now. At the time, it seemed like it was a, revolutionary thing to do. But now I'm looking back at it, man. Them cops didn't stop us. I was about to lead women and children on the highway just to protest. All right? So you got to really understand, I'm not really talking to somebody that's just like cooning, or however you want to kind of put it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really out there. Okay? But now I see, like, it all comes down to paperwork, because, again, you could be out there marching all day, taking knees, laying in the street. Man, that has never did anything. All right? It's never done nothing. All right? It's never done anything. Show me a march that really changed something. All right? It hasn't. All right? You know how many tribes do not have their paperwork together? Right now, they are operating on a rogue status. All right? It's only so many tribes that are recognized by the United States. All other tribes are literally rogue tribes. All right? Literally that rogue status, because they're not recognized by the United States. Not saying you're not a tribe. All right? I'm just saying, do y'all understand the ones that are recognized by the United States, they get checks each and every month. That's why you never see tribal members protesting. For what? You know how many folks look like me still protesting for reparations? Looking goofy as hell. Looking crazy. You got a whole estate. You still trying to beg for goddamn reparations? Like, man, come on, man. Hang that up, y'all. Hang it up. Hang it up. All right, learn trust law, equity law, contract law, because that is the reparations. That's the paperwork. You got to put the paperwork with the understanding. You can't just say things like somebody owe you. Nobody owes you anything. That's why a lot of y'all are going to die, come back, die, come back, die, come back, do it again, do it again, do it again. Some of y'all 60 years old still blaming everything on the white man. Some of y'all 60 years old still blaming everything on the government. You haven't did anything. You haven't started no organizations. You haven't started no type of groups to even bring any type of awareness of how you feel. You just living, or should I say, you just dying. You're not changing anything. You just talking. You know, some days I do feel like we lived in a dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, some of y'all might not agree with that, but you gotta understand what a lot of that comes with. All right? You go to some countries, man, you can't just talk out the side of your damn neck. A lot of y'all just be talking. I be seeing folks saying, F the president. Like, man, you die in another country. What? You would die. You would die. Every single person that looks like me with my skin complexion that hates Trump, I promise you, it's because he's white. That's why. You ask them why they don't like him. I just don't like him. I'm like, yo, what are we talking about? Shut up. You don't deserve to speak. Oh my God, I'm about to really hurt them with this. All right, they need to bring back literacy tests, okay? You need to have a certain literacy to be able to vote. Now I understand why they had it. Because imagine voting and you don't even damn read. You don't even read. Imagine voting, you don't even read. You know how many of y'all voted and you ain't read nothing? You ain't read no terms. You say, oh, he white, I'm voting with Barack. You know how many of y'all black folks was crying when Barack got voted, elected? Grown ass men crying and shit. Oh my God, we never seen a black president before. Because you don't know history. You don't know history. All right? You don't know history if you think Barack Obama is the first melanated president, okay? You're lost. All right? You was one of them Negroes they were talking about that don't deserve to vote. Okay? Because you wouldn't have passed the literacy test. When I used to hear the literacy test, I was like, oh my gosh, it was used against black folks so we couldn't vote. No, man, you had to pass the goddamn test so we can know you can goddamn read. So you can read. Oh my God. You know, man, imagine going to a black neighborhood and saying that. Well, imagine saying, I see why they had literacy tests. Imagine coming straight from the fields and then trying to vote. You got to show us you can read first, Billy. Kunta Kinte, you got to show us you can read first, boy. All right? Yes. 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 Okay? Yes, pass this test and you can vote. They need to bring it back. All right? But this time it's going to be for everybody. All right? Everybody, because it's white folks that ain't reading. Okay? It's white folks that ain't reading. You see how many white folks out there saying, ICE, back off. Hey, I seen a lady hop in the street. She got in there hopping in the street. ICE, back off. Man, they bum rushed that lady so damn fast, man, threw her to the side. She was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not supposed to laugh at that, y'all. That's not funny. That's not humorous to you. Huh? That's not humorous to you. That is funny to me. That's why I made the post. Good job, ICE. Man. But again, I'm coming from a logical standpoint. If I was president, you would have to have some type of literacy level to vote. you can't vote just because you work. You know how many people say, well, I work, so I should be able to vote. You know how many people work and don't read? You know how many people have jobs where they literally push a damn button all day? That was me. I would remember turn the damn button all day. Level hit 7. All damn day. Get off work, go home, act like I just saved the damn world. Well, every day was a long day. A bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing. People are mad because there might be a literacy test. You're upset that you might not be able to pass it? Man, somebody said I got crazy eyes because I'm crazy. All right, I hope you don't think I'm normal. Okay? Yes, very. You know, you gotta be a little crazy to get results. You can't be no normal bumpkin. No, you gotta be a little weird. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of see things that other people don't see. And then when you achieve it, it becomes, oh my gosh, guru. You know, I'm not a guru. You know, I'm not guru. I still have problems. You know, I got my side tooth missing. Y'all see that? You know, I'm normal. Y'all see that? Comment 8 if you missing a side tooth. Okay? Comment 8 if you missing a side tooth. Don't lie now. Come on now. Don't lie. Come on now. Don't lie. Comment 8. Comment 8. I'm just like you. I just read a little more. You know, I'm just focused a little more. All right, comment 8 if you missing a side tooth. Now, I don't know what this kind of pandemic is. It's all of us is missing side teeth. Now, I never got mine pulled, y'all. My shit just kind of fell out when I was in college. I feel like I didn't have enough money to get it pulled out. It kind of just fell out. All right, but there's a lot of us that don't have a side tooth, okay? A lot of us. You see how all of a sudden I made it cool now? I was like, comment 8 if you don't got a side tooth. Now everybody like, 8, I don't got a side tooth. I don't got a, exactly. Right? This is how you break the matrix. All right? This is how you break the matrix. Yeah, I'm missing a side tooth. Yeah. Yes. And it's almost coming on the other side, okay? It's almost there on the other side. I don't know what's going on. I'll be trying to switch it when I chew. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All right? I don't know. Clearly there's something in the water because we all missing the same damn tooth. Ain't no way all of us chewing the same. All right? No, I haven't got no implants. No, I haven't did the dentures. No, I haven't did that. No, I haven't did that. You know, I kind of like my yellow teeth a little, you know what I'm saying? Kind of keeps me like human a little bit, man. Y'all be having the white teeth. I can take mine out, pop in, pop off, you know. Little, you see how a little yellow still, a little yellow. A little yellow, get it. Take a picture, okay? Yeah, I like my little yellow a little bit, Keep me alive, okay? Keep me alive a little bit. Lets me know, like, hey, you still human. Yeah, I like, all that, okay? All right, but anyway, class this weekend, okay? All right, I'm going to give one free ticket for both classes for each channel, all right? I'm going to give y'all one free, no, I'm going to do two. All right, I'm going to do 2 tickets per channel. So we got TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all right, and we have Instagram, all right? So y'all already know how we do it. Get the drum rolls going, okay? So who am I looking? This is Instagram, all right? Instagram, okay? All right. Y'all get y'all fingers ready. We got 2 questions. 2 questions only. And again, we are going with the glitch. What does that mean? All right, it means the very first thing I see is what I'm going with. Some of y'all be sending me screenshots and y'all be showing me, yeah, damn, it was before that, but I'm going with the glitch, okay? Everybody comment 8 so we understand that. We don't need nobody coming inside the comments saying, but look, I beat her. It just wasn't meant for you to win. Okay? Let's get it. All right, now, what does the winner get? Winner, you will receive free ticket for this weekend. All right, I got a class this Sunday, all right, at 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, breaking down exactly how to acquire a brand new vehicle. Okay, utilizing your equitable beneficial ownership title rights. Okay, I'm going to give you the full private administrative process on Sunday. All right, followed by somebody said he's setting y'all up. Yes, I'm setting these folks up all the way. I'm here to take their money, all right, deplete them, take all their money out their bank account. I want them to work more hours so they can give me all their money, all right, so I can go buy more women, rent, so I can trick even more. Yes, all right, to whoever said that, yes, all right, but anyway. All right, you're going to get that class this weekend, this Sunday. All right, you're also going to get, I'm going to show you how to build a trust on February 22nd at 2 o'clock. All right, just so you can't forget, 2/22 at 2. Say it to yourself, 2/22 at 2. I better see you, okay? On that day, all right, I'm gonna show you exactly how to build a trust. Now, what exactly I'm gonna show you, all right? I'm gonna show you how to build, whether it's an irrevocable trust or a revocable trust, all right? Because the one thing a lot of people don't understand is that there's only 2 types of trust. Did y'all know that? Comment 8 if you did not know that. If you did not know, there's only 2 types of trust. Okay? Comment 8 if you did not know that. You thought it was a bunch of different trusts. You thought it was a ecclesiastical, a spendthrift, express, a foreign grantor. All right. Did you know it's only 2? It's either an irrevocable or a revocable. That's it. You can either have a irrevocable foreign grantor trust or a revocable foreign grantor trust. You see what I'm saying? Like all them names that folks get lost in, okay? Just really understand what it is. It's irrevocable or revocable. Somebody said, what about a dynasty trust? A dynasty trust is automatically irrevocable because that lasts after you. Okay? A dynasty trust lasts after you, 100+ years after you. All right, so that's automatically irrevocable. You can't have a revocable dynasty trust. All right, just letting y'all know. All right, so I'm gonna have that class on February 22nd at 2 p.m. I show you exactly how to build a trust, and let me show you some more gems as well. Because again, I'm a businessman. All right, I want y'all to know that first and foremost. All right, I'm a businessman first, your friend second. Okay. Meaning I'm also going to show you how to create a business for yourself as far as after you are able to build a trust for yourself. Imagine your cousin asking you to build a trust and you're like, okay, yeah, I'll build your trust for your cousin. All right, hey, auntie, yeah, I'll build your trust for your auntie. Hey, uncle, yeah, I'll build your trust for your uncle. All right, now imagine now you fluent. Now you good at building trust. What will stop you from starting a business? You know how many people will get in the comment and say, why are you charging to build people's trust? I'm telling you, somebody that's been in business for almost 5 years now. Okay, charge. Okay, charge. Okay, charge. Don't do any, unless you want to do it for free, but I'm here to let you know, most people that get theirs for free, they're not going to respect the effort and the energy that you put in it. Imagine doing something for free for somebody. They didn't really put much in it. All right. They didn't even invest any type of, money or anything like that. Then they take it and say, oh, I'm going to get to it when I get to it. You don't put your all into their trust. And you ask them, hey, have you filed this yet? Have you? Oh, no, I haven't got to it yet. I'll get to it. Man. Okay? So again, once you learn these things, create a business, family. This is America. This is the United States. This is a business. If you're not thinking business minded, you might want to pack your bags and leave. All right? Because you're not going to understand it. All right? You're not going to understand like the laws. The laws is not meant for folks that's not business minded. The laws aren't meant for you to just lay on your ass and wait for something to get handed to you. That's not what it's built for. All right? So that's what I'm saying. Grab the classes, hold on to them, learn exactly what's going on, all right? Because no matter what happens with the government, no matter what happens with the currency, all right, your rights, especially equity, that's not going nowhere. That ain't going nowhere. You always have an equitable stake in anything that you invested in. Always. All right? Anything that goes against that, that's equity fraud. That's security fraud. All right? So take these classes, y'all. All right? So let's start it. All right. Instagram. First question. I don't got a question, y'all. I'm trying to think right now. All right, I got it. If I was to vote in this year's election or next election, as a businessman, who would I have voted for? Who is that? Be the American. Let's get it. Republican. All right, we got woo-hoo, baby, and we got Be the American Bully. Make sure y'all DM me, okay? Yes. And you know, a lot of people say you should never mix politics, religion with business. Y'all got to understand, we honest over here. We respect Democrats. I respect Republicans. Again, I didn't vote, okay? I'm just saying if I did, man, this is a no damn brainer. Ain't no way in the hell I could vote for what's his name? I forgot his damn name because he's dead. Biden. All right, ain't no way I could vote for Biden. Biden been gone since 2012. All right, see, a lot of y'all hasn't been following, and it's understandable. Okay, and it's understandable. All right. So yeah, winner chicken dinner. Y'all already know what it is. Cold word all day. All right, so here we go. TikTok. All right, TikTok. Oh, I got one more question. I really did that wrong. I was supposed to ask 2 questions. I gave it to 2 people. Goddess and God. Okay. Somebody said Democrat would have made you gay. All right. Next, TikTok. Next question. All right. First 2 people that answer it. Okay. First 2 people that answer it. Okay. TikTok only. How many kids do I have? I can't see. Who is this? Queens on a Mission and Jay? Who? Jay and Queens on a Mission. All right. Yes, I have 5 children. All right. Next question. All right. We got our 2 winners from there. Who is this right here? This Facebook. Oh, I'm about to ask a hard question. Facebook. Counting all the abortions, How many children should I have right now? Six, including past abortions. Remember, I'm 33 years old, family. We keep violating on fate on TikTok. I don't know what's going on. 12, no. 5, that's how many kids I have now. 10, no. Gosh, Lee. Wow. Y'all are so generous. Whoa, 20? Not that high. Nobody is guessing. Oh my goodness. No, y'all are saying the same ones. Nobody has yet say anywhere around the range where I'm gonna give y'all a hint. Anything under 10 is dead, okay? Anything under 10 is dead. Anything under 10 is dead. A lot of folks is answering it right on YouTube, but Facebook, what is going on? I said anything under 10 is dead, meaning anything you put under 10 is dead, all right? Okay, all right, almost. Okay, there we go. Almost. Almost. Ah. Nah. 16. There we go. All right, who was that? Mercedes RZ. Yes, 16 of those that I can count. Now, for context, listen, y'all, I'm not no murderer, nothing like that. I only physically paid for 3, okay? And after I was 26, I said I would never pay for another one ever again. I'm going to handle my business, okay? Now, the other ones, it's because I used to do contract jobs. You know, I used to be from state to state. You know, I would find me a little thing in the state, you know, we would get close and, you know, things lead to other things. And boom, she'll get pregnant and she think I'm supposed to move to Minnesota or Seattle or something like that. And, I got to keep it moving. You know, that's why a woman will make the decision where if you're not going to stay here with me, I'm going to get an abortion. So that's, my context. I don't want y'all to think I'm out here. Nah. All right. No. All right. Yeah, but it was 16. It was 16. I know that was a wild question. I got to keep y'all on y'all toes. I don't want to be too much in that professional lane that y'all be trying to put me in. We got to ask some wild things from time to time. All right, let's keep going. So who was that? That one, we got Mercedes RZ. Make sure you DM me. All right, next question. Next question. What does HOOD and Hood Consumer Advisors stand for? What does HOOD and Hood Consumer Advisors stand for? We're still on Facebook. What does the acronym HOOD stand for in Hood Consumer Advisor? All the way. Helping others overcome debt? Nope. Helping others overcome debt? Nope. Deshaun, you just tried to copy just now. Wrong. Wrong. Helping others overcome debt? No. Helping others? No. Man, Facebook. I'm hurt. Helping others overcome debt? No. Helping out others' denominations? What? help ourselves overcome debt. All right, there we go. Who was that? Jonathan Pryor and Shamel Carl, helping ourselves overcome debt. Yes. All right. So whenever you see Hood Consumer Advisor, it has nothing to do with ratchetness. All right. It has all to do with helping ourselves overcome debt. All right. So how do we overcome debt? All right, we overcome debt by understanding contract law, equity law, trust law. All right. When we understand that, we overcome debt. Most people that work a job right now or trap or do anything illegal, all right, or even if it's legal, all right, if it's for the purpose of gaining money and using that on bills, all right, my friend, you need help to overcome debt. You have not overcame debt. Now, some people find, refuge or comfortabilities under being under debt. All right. Some people say things like, well, I make 70,000. That's some good money from where I'm from. All right. And that's somebody that's okay with basically drowning. All right. Yeah, I remember the age of information is here. Information means water. All right. You're supposed to be above the water, above the information. All right. You're not supposed to be drowning in debt. You got to hear the verbiage. You're drowning in debt. How many people are like, oh my gosh, I'm drowning in debt? All right? Because you don't understand it. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. Well, yeah, you understand it, but you don't understand it. You don't know how to change it into something that's positive. All right? You're looking at all debt instruments or bills as a bad thing. Or something like these people that say, get out of all contracts with the United States. They're saying that because they don't know how to benefit from the exact contract that they signed. Okay, you have an equitable stake in all contracts that you sign. A lot of people don't know that. All right, every single contract that you're in. All right, that's why there's really no such thing as a bad contract. All right, because if you then go back and review the contract, you have the right to redress. All right, this is something that John F. Kennedy passed in 1963, 62 to be exact. And right after he passed this, he got assassinated. All right. So you got the right to redress, meaning if you enter a contract and you don't understand it and it's not conducive to you, all right, you have the right to redress. All right. Now you have to have valid points. Now you can't just say, oh, like this. No, you got to have valid points. All right. But any consumer credit transaction that you enter and you feel like you were not given adequate disclosure, all right, or you feel like you are not being equitably honored, all right, you're able to, redress that contract. All right. Now, you got to remember, when you try to redress a contract, if the corporation, meaning the financial institution, you can only do it against the financial institution. If the financial institution does not redress or correct the wishes of let's say you're a beneficiary or a trustee, all right, if they don't carry out those duties, that means they're ignoring you. All right, that's trust fraud. All right, that means the administrators are going against what's beneficial to the trust. All right, that's also called constructive trust. All right, so these are things you need to know because you're going to get violated. Like just like people get violated each and every day. But the problem is, most people know how to call their friends and complain or call their mom and complain quicker than they know how to file a claim. All right, it's easy to hop on the phone and say, man, they done took my car, man, these crackers. Oh my God. Okay. Really understand. You can't blame nobody. Okay. You can't blame nobody. Here's another reason why you can't blame anybody. All right. Here's another reason. All right. Did you know in every single contract you sign, before you sign, it asks you. All right. It asks you, hey, are you sure you recognize everything that before you sign? You've read the contract. You know what most people do? Yeah. Let me get my keys. Take a picture like, God done gave me a house. God did it again. And come on. All right, we got to be better, y'all. You know how many people done lost land? All right, done lost money just because they didn't understand the contract. You gonna be another statistic? All right, are you? Just signing stuff, not understanding like, hey, All right, at least if you're gonna sign and not look at it, have an understanding like, okay, I plan on going back over this contract, and if I see something that I don't agree with, I want to go ahead and redress it. All right, and that's literally what I teach people. You know, I teach people how to, exercise their rights, but you have to do it by way of a process, family. It's not a one size fits all. I thought it was. I try to make a process with one size fits all, but a lot of people ask me questions like, do you have a process specifically on how to get a new car? Do you have a process specifically on how to get a new house? All right. Do you have a process specifically on how to manage a credit card? All right. Somebody says, how do we get a contract that we don't have? You got to have more context. What you mean by that? What contract? You mean like in a new acquisition? Because the contract in a new acquisition would be your wave one. Will be the document that you send in wave one. I know the three-wave process that I create in our wave one is going to have our, declaration of equitable beneficial ownership. We're going to have an affidavit of equitable beneficial rights and accounting direction. It's going to be a whole offer. So that very first wave is the contract. All right. So they have a chance to either deny the terms, but if they deny my terms, now they have to, use law to, they can't just say, no, I'm not rocking with what you're trying to give us. No. They have to have lawful backing. They can't just say no. All right. And a lot of y'all, I'm not saying you can just send them a bill of exchange bare and they need to accept it. No, you got to make sure that bill of exchange meets all compliances that meets a negotiable instrument, because a bill of exchange is a negotiable instrument. You can't go, even though we're not making bill of exchange our star player, okay? Our star player is the equitable beneficial ownership claim, all right? But if I'm going in there and I want to basically administer a bill of exchange, all right? Now, 'cause I see a lot of people saying, I can just give a bill of exchange. All right, you have to have a process, fam. I also have to show where the corporation denied your bill of exchange. But before you even get to that point, the judge is going to ask you, how was this bill of exchange lawful? Okay? How is it lawful? Okay? All right? I know YouTube, I know y'all waiting for my next question. All right, I got y'all. I just got to give y'all this context before I ask y'all these two questions. All right? Because, again, if you want to administer a bill of exchange, you have to connect it to a negotiable instrument. All right? Negotiable instruments is under your UCC 3. All right? Uniform Commercial Article 3. All right? Covers negotiable instruments and tender. All right? That's what a lot of people were, even when I first started teaching it, I wasn't connecting to the negotiable instruments. So though I got results, a lot of my students was not able to articulate how a bill of exchange, is lawful. All right. And if you are going to go that route, you have to connect the bill of exchange to the Uniform Commercial Code Article 3. Okay. Article 3, because that covers negotiable instruments and tenders. All right. Don't go in that courtroom and say I gave them a bill of exchange. Go in there and say I gave a negotiable instrument, if that's the angle that you're going to take. Okay. All right. YouTube, let's get to the question. All right. If I was in a transaction, which one would be highest titles? Equitable beneficial ownership or legal titles? All right, we got Security Louis. Security Louis. We got Jamal Harris as well. Even though Jamal, I'm going to let you slide, but, just saying equity, that ain't enough. You got to say it, equitable beneficial ownership titles. All right, but I'm going to let y'all two slide. Well, you slide. But y'all go ahead and come to Instagram all right, and shoot me a DM, all right, because YouTube does not have any type of DMs. That's the only way y'all can get in touch with me, so y'all can get y'all 2 tickets. All right, remember, class is this weekend, all right, February 8th at 5 p.m. if you want to learn how to acquire a brand new vehicle using your equitable beneficial ownership titles. All right, make sure you're in class, y'all. That class also comes with the recording. All right, so if you did not win anything tonight, okay, it's okay, fam. The class is only $100. It also comes with the recording, all right? So remember, if I invest $100 in this class, all right, I'm going to learn the private administrative process. I'm going to give y'all articulation if you choose to go to the dealership. Okay, if you choose. Now, I'm here to recommend you don't, all right? Because I don't want you to get in there and talk too much, say too many things. It's easier to operate privately because we're operating in a private administrative process anyway, okay? But if you want some articulation, if you want to go into the dealership, I'll have that prepared as well for Sunday. But majority of the process is going to be for you to kind of mail it off, choose your vehicle online, find the stock number, request a buyer's order. After you get the buyer's order, then we're going to actually add that to the wave 1, which is going to be our equitable beneficial ownership rights as well. All right, so make sure y'all tap in February 8th, 5 o'clock for the car class. But don't let that be the only class you get. You might as well go ahead and attend the trust class that I have February 22nd. That will be at 2 p.m. Okay, if you want to learn how to build your own trust. All right, if you don't want to spend thousands and thousands, if you don't want to, have to get somebody to build it for you, you just don't understand what's going on. All right, February 22nd at 2 o'clock. I'm going Eastern, by the way. I'm going to show you exactly how to build your own trust. But not only that, I'm going to add in, all right, how to implement the equitable beneficial ownership claims. All right, so the trust already establishes that the trust is the equitable beneficial owner if you decide to go acquire a car, a house. Remember the class that we're about to take on the 8th? Now you can kind of compile those 2 classes together, build you a trust, go acquire you a new vehicle, and then boom, you're automatically operating in trust, and trust operates hand in hand with equity, okay? So if you understand that, all right, tap in. Somebody said, can I just buy the recording afterwards? Now, the class is going to be higher than $100 afterwards. Now, again, if you want to kind of finesse it, okay, all right, you want to finesse it, and you're not going to be able to be in class, go ahead and get the ticket, because now when the replay is ready, all you got to do is show your ticket, and you can get your replay, okay? So that's just a little, way of you can finesse the system. All right. For those that are my clients, my current contract clients, please make sure y'all receive the do-it-yourself curriculum. We have switched over to fully going equity. All right. For those, I'm getting a lot of clients that's asking. Well, you did my 3-way process focusing on the security interest, and y'all gotta understand it's okay. All right, just because some new pair of shoes is done hit the market now with us, don't mean you just get to trade out your old shoes and get some new shoes. All right, like no. All right, we've already built your administrative process. Now, if you want to add in a declaration of equitable beneficial ownership, you can. That doesn't mean you start all over. All right. But a lot of folks been saying, but the class you did doesn't show that's not the documents you sent me. Duh, because I wasn't talking about that at that time. All right? I wasn't talking about that, meaning we're not about to redo something because I've added something that I was doing on my personal side that I've decided now to add to my business. All right? Remember, we have results with the security interest establishment as well. All right? I'm just saying now adding the equity. Okay, now we don't necessarily have to tongue wrestle about payment, tongue wrestle about I have security interest over the collateral. All right, we can instantly just insert our equitable beneficial ownership titles in the property. Okay, now if you are a client, the do-it-yourself curriculum that you will receive is going to be based off of equitable beneficial ownership titles. All right, I'm gonna let you know that now just to kind of clear up any confusion. All right. I'm sending you that so you can go in and add whatever document. Not come back to me and say, okay, man, so can you redo my wave one? No, I'm not. All right. You can pay an extra $1,000 if you wanted to add that in there. All right. And I'm getting some people saying, well, due to me waiting so long, can you just go back and redo? No, 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 no. All right. Again, I apologize about the turnaround times for the documentation. I probably said it every other video that I get on here. Okay, I understand your frustrations. Some of y'all been waiting 30 days, 60 days. I got one guy, I just got done with his. He been waiting 100 days. All right. Now, again, we're not going to have nobody reach that. All right. Now, everybody's coming now. You got to give us 90 days to basically get your documentation due to, the traffic that we've, that have came in. Everybody that tapped with us from October to November, those folks is what we are dealing with first. All right. So anybody new that's coming in, you got to give us at least 90 days before we get your private administrative process to you. Now, remember, everybody moving forward, okay, here on out, your private administrative process is going to build straight utilizing equitable beneficial ownership. We're not going to utilize the old method. All right. Now, again, my clients that has the old method, I don't want you to start, having buyer's remorse like, oh man, I should have, No, keep following along. I'm going to send you the do-it-yourself curriculum for free. Okay. Because again, I understand the frustrations. All right. But again, understand exactly what we're doing, family. No one that I know of has a public service or is assisting people in drafting a private administrative process, assisting with a public administrative process. Rather, it's focusing on security interests or focus on the equitable beneficial ownership standpoint. All right. So this is not Burger King. This is not well, just give me my money back so I can go to Burger King. Like, where you gonna go? All right. Last guy, a refund, man, he was turning around. Oh my gosh, you really gave me my money back. I didn't. How about this, man? So I understand things happen. How about we continue? Like, nah, man, nah. All right. So that's why I cut off. There are no refunds. I want y'all to kind of see my face and kind of see this is not AI saying this. There are no refunds. Okay. Because you're going to appreciate me more. All right. When it's all said and done. More than you are a damn refund, okay? I'm giving you classes, all right? You have a whole do-it-yourself curriculum, whole course, all right? And I'm still going to draft your private and your public. For those clients that are on the public process, I'm going to let y'all know this now, all right? I'm not going to be on your time, okay? Even though you've already sent in wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and you feel like you're ready for the public process, all right, I'm here to let you know you're not ready, okay? You're not ready. Keep studying your private process, all right? So by the time we are ready for the public process, you will be ready because you got to remember, you're going to be the one that's going to go in that courtroom, whether it's online or in person, and have to articulate your private administrative process. So trying to rush to the public is not going to do you any good. You know how many folks done literally fell on their face trying to rush to the public? Now they're saying, well, let me, before we kind of go back at it, let me kind of study a little bit more. Exactly. All right, exactly. All right, because I got a lot of folks that's at the public process. What are we waiting for? I've been waiting on you for right now. And I'm like, well, have you been studying all that time? Why are you trying to get mad at me? Have you been studying? I'm trying to save you right now. All right, I'm trying to save you. People say, well, I thought it was only going to take 60 days. Are you ready to go to court? Are you ready to stand on your rights in 60 days? Huh? Are you? No. Chill. Relax. What did Allstate say? All right, you're in good hands. All right, you're in good hands. Relax. You're okay. Okay? You're fine. Your money, it went to a good reason. You're a part of a community. All right? You've invested in something that a lot of folks won't invest in. All right? They're telling themselves, I'll figure it out myself. You're probably telling yourself, man, I could have figured it out. No, you couldn't have. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't have. All right? Because if I'm doing your documentations, I'm personalizing it. All right? A lot of people are seeing these classes and say, well, why did my documents look like that? Because I personalized your packet. That's why it don't look like his. Hey, I'm missing that document though. That it's okay. In your rules and regulation, your state doesn't need that. You didn't know that though. You didn't know that. Right? But when you go look at somebody else and say, hey man, I take class, man, I see you did an example. Hey, I didn't have that document. I didn't have that document. I didn't have that. Is my process incomplete? I'm like, damn. How about you send off what we sent you? How about you do that first? How about that? Okay? It's like, let's what they say in Philly, 76ers, trust the process. Okay, trust the process. All right. We have also been doing our Sunday classes for those that want to be a part of our community. All right, we meet every Sunday at 7 o'clock. All right, we won't be meeting this Sunday due to the class that we have. All right, but we meet every Sunday, every month. Okay, we meet that's 4 times. That's 4 Sundays. All right. You also receive the recording. Now, what do we learn on these Sundays? We learn the process. We learn something about trust. We learn something about equity. All right, a little something every single week. We might even follow and basically connect the dots from the previous week. All right, but $100 is the subscription every single month. All right, and I'm talking about something separate now, y'all. I told you about the 2 classes I got coming up. All right, but if you want to be with a weekly class, all right, we meet every single week. All right, it's called We the People Dynasty. Okay, it is my private subscription that we meet every Sunday. All right, we meet for an hour. All members receive all recordings from every single class. All right, but again, it is $100 a month. All right, if you want to tap into that, go ahead and DM me. All right, DM me. All right, if you come in the middle of the month, let's say you come in the middle of the month, that $100 gets you the previous 2 classes as well. All right, so you're gonna have all the classes you need for that month. Okay, and again, if you want previous month classes, you're gonna have to pay an additional 100 for those months as well. All right, we basically have all the classes stored away. Now, for those that's been with us since December, y'all been with us since that time. You've been able to receive everything. A lot of times that the classes that we have, that I'm gonna have this weekend, a lot of that information is going to be in our subscription as well. That's some of the bonuses that, you get for being a part of our subscription. Again, if you're interested in that, shoot me a DM, hashtag We the People. All right, so I can know exactly what you're DMing us for. All right, I want to make sure I'm getting everything out the way. Everybody that was supposed to come to my Philly class that was supposed to be previous weekend, make sure y'all have y'all's tickets. Okay, everybody that was supposed to come to the Philly event this weekend that passed, they got postponed. All right, make sure y'all got y'all free tickets for this weekend. All right, and the tickets for February 22nd, showing you how to build your own trust. All right, for all attendees. All right, now if you want your refund back, you can get your refund. But if you get your refund, you kind of waive the benefits of those classes. All right, I want to just make sure I'm getting everything out the way before I go. Make sure y'all tap in with the classes that we talked about, the cars for equity. If you want to learn how to acquire a car using your equity. Also, the trust class is called In God We Trust. It will be February 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, so make sure y'all tap in. Links are in the bio. Please do not come to the DM and say, can you send me the link? Can I just Zelle you? No, you cannot Zelle for those classes, family. Link is in the bio. TikTok, link is in the bio. Instagram, link is in the bio. IG, link is in the bio. YouTube, link is in the bio. All right, and if you have any issues locating them in the bio, which I understand there's a lot of people that are not tech savvy, all right, come on over to one of my other channels, all right, if it's probably easier able to, so you can assess it better, all right, from Instagram. I know for sure Instagram because it's right there on the page. All right, but with that being said, y'all, for all my winners, Make sure you DM me winner chicken dinner. Ask the code. All right, as lame as that may sound, you gotta say that to get your code. All right, so you get your free classes. All right, and I'm gonna probably see y'all tomorrow. I might go live tomorrow. All right, I may go live tomorrow. I'm not sure. All right, but for sure, we will have class Sunday. Make sure y'all tap in, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in. All right, we already sold out 3 times already. All right, so make sure y'all tap in. We went ahead and added some more tickets. All right, we went ahead and added some more tickets. All right, remember the deadline to sign up is tomorrow, family. No, my bad, Friday. Friday is the last chance to sign up for the car class on Sunday. That class is only $100. Remember, it comes with recording as well. All right, with that being said, y'all, peace and love. And y'all be safe. Peace all day. Okay.